that in the back of your mind, right? And let them know that that was a good decision that they made to have life insurance, and then you're gonna move on. Any questions about these first two parts so far, guys? You could just unmute yourself if you might have a question. But don't everybody unmute yourself at once. Okay. Cool. So as long as that makes sense, guys, you're gonna see me keep doing this throughout the presentation. And like I said, I didn't make this up. I learned this from the greats. I learned this from Joel. I learned this from C4. Statement, question. You have to keep the person who's the prospect, you have to keep them involved. You have to keep them talking to you. You have to keep them answering questions. And another thing about the psychology of this, guys, if somebody answers you yes enough times during this presentation, by the end of the presentation, if you ask them if they need a policy, or you ask them for referrals, or you ask them if they want to be a partner, why would the answer not be yes? I'm gonna say that one more time. If somebody says yes to you enough times in this presentation, guys, the answer at the end is going to be yes, whether it's referrals, partner, or a free consultation, guys. Very simple psychology. So I'm gonna go ahead and move on here. There's also some analogies that I like to use, and I'm going to share one with you guys right now. So when I talk about the carriers, I like to talk about, just if anybody's seen the Fast Start packet, and it says, Steve Wozniak, right? So he's actually calling us the Amazon of financial services. So I like to use that. Like to use that analogy when I talk about our carriers. You don't have to make it like a huge red flag. Hey, we're not an insurance company. No, you don't need to do all that. You can go ahead and say, we're not an insurance company. We're actually being called the Amazon of financial services. Why? Because we take the best products on the market and we distribute them to our clients. We don't make our own products. They're already on the market. So you might recognize Mutual of Omaha, okay? AIG. Sorry, Ashton, I keep picking on you, but you're who I see on my screen. Are you familiar with any of these?
National Life Group.
Cool. That's actually one of the ones that people mostly recognize, right? Is National Life Group and Mutual of Omaha. Cool. That's a very, very popular one. So let me ask you this. Once you explain, these are all, A-rated companies. They've all been in business for, 50 to 100 years. Let me go ahead and ask you, would you rather trust your money with a business that maybe is just getting started, or a business that's been around for 50 to 100 years, Ashton?
I would say 50 to 100 years.
Absolutely 50 to 100 years if you're going to give your money to anybody, right? And you guys got to keep the energy up. When you ask them a question, it's just not like, yeah, all right, you're right. I'm going to go ahead and slow down. No, guys, the point of you talking to the prospect is to get to know them, have them crack a smile, talk to them. You're not talking at them, if that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, that's great. I would do the same thing with my money. I would definitely want to trust a company that's been around for a longer period of time. Any questions on the first part of this, guys? And if somebody can help me out with the chat, if there's any questions in the chat, Coach, if you could just, unmute yourself and let me know.
We got you.
Cool. So we can go ahead and transition, guys. And one of the things I also learned is that you have to be very smooth in the transition. You don't want to make this an awkward, like scrolling down of now, I wonder what's coming next. No. You can go ahead and make this very smooth. So after you're finished talking about our carriers, you can go ahead and ask another question. So the statement is, hey, Ashton, there's actually two types of life insurance, the old life insurance and the new life insurance. Which one of those are you familiar with?
I'm not really sure. I've never heard of the new life insurance.
Cool. Well, that's actually what we're going to talk about today. Today, we're going to talk about the new life insurance. And you guys, you want to ask that question. You want to ask that question every time. Why? Because this person has never seen this information before. And I was talking to the group earlier and kind of using the example of, if I said I had an old iPhone and I have a new iPhone, which one are you going to want to hear about? Right? It makes it a little mysterious, right? It makes it, somebody wants to know more. They want to ask questions. So the old life insurance and the new, oh, cool. I'm going to tell you about the new life insurance. Does that make sense, guys? I hope I'm not going too quick here either, guys.
Hey, Champagne, we have a quick question in the chat box.
Please do.
Yeah, we do have a question, Champagne. Let's answer this question. I think it's a great question.
Please ask it. I can't see the chat box.
It says, at this past Saturday training, a new term was introduced other than FMO. It had tech in it. How should we describe our agency with that new terminology? Do you remember the new terminology?
I do, and I won't, who's writing on the screen? Come on. I do remember him talking about that, but I have not used that terminology. For me, just to keep it really smooth and just to keep it interactive, I always just say, you know, we're not an insurance company, right? We represent the best insurance companies in the country, right? And we're being called the Amazon of financial services. Why? Just like I said, guys, why? Because we distribute their product. We distribute the best products. I don't make it too complicated, guys, because people don't know this stuff. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say that we shouldn't use the terminology that Curtis has introduced to us, but I'm going to tell you guys that I have not used it. Does that answer the question?
Yes, let's keep going.
Okay, cool. I don't know whose question that was, but I hope that answered it, guys. I have not used that terminology yet. I've always just used, you know, we're not an insurance company. These are who we represent. Do you recognize any of them? Great. Who would you trust with your money? Great. I agree with you. Very simple, guys. Now, as far as the transition goes, when you transition from carriers, again, to new life insurance, like I said, you want to keep that really smooth. You want to go ahead and ask them and then let them know you're going to give them the new information, not the old information. From here, it's very simple. Keep it simple, guys. Just read the screen. Term life insurance, affordable, but it expires, right? ROP, it's a refund, but it also expires. Typically, I don't get asked too many questions about this because even if you're not reading the screen, somebody can look at this presentation and understand exactly what it means. So all you have to do is read it, guys. You don't need to make this complicated. Okay, so you go ahead and introduce them to these different types of policies because mind you, they don't know about this stuff, guys. And that's the statement. So this is term, this is ROP, this is permanent. Now the question is, Miss Helen, let me ask you this. If you were my client, which one of these policies would you be interested in?
The Ferrari for sure.
Absolutely. And thank you for bringing that up too. Thank you, Miss Helen. So yeah, first of all, I want to say whatever choice they make. So if they say ROP, you guys, the point of this presentation is not try to sell everybody an IUL. That's not the point of this. So whatever they say, any choice is a good choice because they need life insurance if they don't have it. So whatever they say, whether they say term, ROP, permanent, that's a great choice. Definitely a great vehicle to get into. So you don't want to, like I said, you're not trying to sell them anything, guys. You're having a conversation with them. This presentation is education. At the end of the presentation is where you're going to find out what you can do for them. Miss Helen also brought up another point as far as the analogies, right? You can go ahead and make it fun and say, you know what, if we're talking cars, and most of my agents have seen me do this in pretty much every presentation is talk about the Toyota Camry, right? Talk about the Lexus, right? I know Olivia wants that Lexus. She's over here dancing. Cool. So the Lexus, and then go ahead and this one is going to be the Ferrari. Why? Obviously, it's got all the bells and whistles, guys. Cash value, living benefits, all that stuff. So you can use that. Obviously, you're not going to use that on everybody. You're not going to use that analogy for everybody, guys. But you will use that if you see fit. You're always gonna make sure that you're, seeing the person, that you guys are smiling at each other. Don't make it awkward. Don't make it robotic. None of that stuff, guys. This is literally just reading the screen with a little bit of tact. Okay. Are there any questions as far as this goes? I can't see the chat.
So I had a quick question, just a quick tidbit. You had said, don't make it robotic. You're going to see this person on the regular. What was that in reference to?
Don't make it robotic. You're going to see this person on the regular.
I mean, you said you may see this person on the regular.
I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't think that's what I said. I was just saying, don't sound robotic. I may have said just speak to them regular. I don't know. I don't think I said that.
All right. Yeah, that cleared it.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think I said that, but basically what I mean by that is don't be robotic with this. Think of it like this, guys. Somebody who you're speaking to, they're in this appointment with you because they have never heard of this stuff. If they already heard of it, they will be doing it. Either they would be, a marketing director with our company, or they would be, already not speaking with us because they already have whatever it is that they need. So the point of this is education. That's why I'm saying don't make it robotic, because make sure you're actually taking their questions. Make sure you're voicing, You're voicing what these things are, educate them on what is a permanent policy, and then see if they have any questions. Right? Just keep it simple is what I mean.
All right, thank you.
Okay, cool. Just want to make
Hey,
sure I got that question. Go ahead.
The way I described it to someone on our team the other day was to read it and learn it like an actor reads a script and learns their script, but then they give their character to their script. So basically learning it like actors do and then giving it a character.
Nice. Okay, cool. And this is stuff too that you could definitely put to memory, right? One thing I do want to say is don't ever take away being genuine. You know what I mean? You could rush through this presentation very quickly, not answer any of the prospects' questions, not help them process the things they don't understand, and nothing's going to come out of that. Your trainee is not going to learn anything. Okay, you're not going to be able to get a new business partner for them. You're not going to be able to get referrals or any of the services offered to that client. So make sure you're genuine. You know, I always like to see a prospect smile, right? I always like to see somebody who I'm on the other line with smiling or asking questions or laughing. My agents know exactly when I'm going to like tell a joke or something like that, or exactly what's coming next. They know because I do it the same way every time, but I'm very genuine because I'm passionate about this stuff. Okay. Let me go ahead and move on here again because I do want to stay on time. Now let's talk about the transition to the 3 ways money grows. And again, I didn't make any of this stuff up, guys. This is all stuff that is taught not only in Crusaders College, but your marketing director should also have this information for you. So there is there's a smooth transition as well. It's just a statement and a question. Could you guys guess? It was a statement and a question. There's 3 ways that money grows. Are you familiar with the 3 ways that money grows? 9 times out of 10, the answer is no. Great, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. Right? Did you guys see that? It's not like, all right, yeah, I didn't think so. So here's the ways. You guys gotta stay personable, stay likable. Nobody's gonna do anything with this information if they don't like you. I'll tell you that right now. So you gotta stay personable. You have to make the prospect smile or it's not your job to be their friend, you guys, but you have to be personable. Give them the education they need and be personable. So go ahead and read this. You're gonna explain what fixed is. This is the statement, by the way, if you're taking notes, this is the statement. What is variable? That's the statement. You tell them what is index. That's the statement. And what's the question? So out of these three strategies, which one are you currently using? Oh, all my money's in the stock market. I'm going, you know, I'm a very aggressive. I have all my money in the variable market. Again, guys, it's not your job to stop everything and say, all right, I'm about to figure out how to roll your money over for you. It's not your job to do that, guys. Whatever their answers are, you need to take, you know what I mean, take note of that and know that you can help them. So if they say, all my money is in the stock market, everything's variable right now. Okay, cool. Well, if I was able to show you another way that you might be able to diversify that money, was that something you'd be interested in learning about? Smooth, right? I'm just saying, I know it is, guys, because it's that simple. You're not here to try to force something to somebody. I was telling the team earlier about this, you guys, you're not here to try to force feed somebody something. By the end of this presentation, they're going to be grabbing the spoon from you because they want to know what's going on. You're not trying to force anything down. You're not trying to make anybody buy anything or none of that stuff. This is education. And I'm going to tell you right now, they don't have it. They don't know the information already. Okay. Let me go ahead and move along here, guys. I get real crazy about this. I get super passionate about this stuff, but I just want to show you guys what I do in the field so that you guys can, so we can all be duplicatable and things like that. Cool. So, the next part is protecting your retirement, guys. And I'll tell you right now, this is the part of the presentation that I probably get the most questions on. So the life insurance stuff is fairly self-explanatory when I'm just reading the screen and you could kind of see what it is that I'm talking about. Now, the 3 ways money grows, if they don't understand that, then they're not going to understand what an indexed annuity is. In that case, I'm going to go ahead and pick on somebody really quick. In that case, this is what I do. I go ahead and make my screen. And this is just, for those of you guys who are taking notes, if you want to, for those of you guys who are taking notes or paying attention to this. Give me 1 second here. Okay, so for those of you guys who are taking notes, here's something that you can use if they didn't understand it. I'm just going to use Mr. and Mrs. Molina over there, because you guys are the ones on my screen. Okay, so let's just say, Joel, you're the trainee, right? Pat, you're the prospect, and I am obviously the person taking you in the field. If I need to give you an example, I can give you an example here, a very quick analogy that goes like this. Okay, you see this blue line here? This represents the fixed market, right? So Joel, let's say we all had the same amount of money, and Joel says, you know what? I'm not playing any games. I am putting it in the bank. I don't want to lose any money. None of that stuff. I'm gonna put it in the bank. Cool. I'm from Vegas, and I'm like, you know what's going down? I'm putting it all in the stock market. All of it's going in there. We're gonna be in the variable market straight up. So I'm the red line. And Pat, you were a little, and you always use the prospect as the person using the indexed. Write that down, guys. You always use the prospect as a person using the index. You know what I mean? Just a little bit more psychology stuff there. But so Pat is going to be, you know, you were a little bit more intelligent than us, right? When it came to that, you had made a better choice, and you are the green line, which represents index. So over time, you can kind of see what happens. Joel's money is very slow to grow, right? Very slow to grow. For me, I got the dice. I'm in Vegas, you know, so I'm up and then I'm down. I'm up and then I'm down. And you see what happens to your money, Pat. While my money goes down, you're right in that index market. So you're staying at zero. You're staying at zero. You're not going below that. Anyway, let me move on here. I just wanted to show you guys that because that's very helpful to, you know what I mean? Go ahead and explain, use a good little analogy like that to explain to the prospect if they don't understand after being explained the 3 ways that money grows. Cool. Any questions about that part, guys? Okay, let me hurry up and move along here. Protecting your retirement, there's a smooth way to transition into this as well. You know, people who consider, or excuse me, people who consider their life being important to them, they get life insurance, okay? People who consider their money important to them, they get annuities. Why? To protect their money. Okay, so they'll probably, usually I get this, oh, so an annuity is like insurance for your money? Yeah, it is. And you know what? Think of all the things you insure. Your phone, your car, your house, all that stuff. So would it make sense to get insurance on your money? Absolutely. Cool. All right, I wanna go ahead and get to the last part of this before our guest speaker comes on. So as far as making a good impression, very easy transition here, guys. You know what? Joel, I'm not gonna, or excuse me, Pat, I'm not going to assume, you know, but if I did I make a good impression on you here today about what Joel and I are doing? Yes. Awesome. Great, great, great. Well, since that's the case, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you to look at this presentation, this information that we went over, right, with 3 sets of eyes. Okay, the first one is, you know, if you know anyone who needs this information, if you don't know anyone who could benefit from this education and maybe need some of these services, then you could go ahead and refer them to Joel. That would be greatly appreciated. Okay.
I would really appreciate that.
I will. The second set of eyes is a free consultation. So as I mentioned earlier, we do not charge our clients to give them their options. Okay, so if you yourself might want a free consultation and figure out what it is we could do for you, Joel will be more than happy to do that for you. And the third, of course, if you were looking to make some extra money, looking to get licensed in this industry and help us get out here and impact our communities, we will be more than happy to have you if that's something that you were looking into. So let me ask you, Pat, of these 3, which one or more are you most interested in?
Actually, I did 3 of that.
All 3. Cool. So let me go ahead, and I really got like a couple minutes here. Thank you so much, Pat. So I usually, if somebody says referrals, what I do is I'll have them either right there or I'll have them and the trainee get together. And I always, I don't kind of go hard about it, but I say, yeah, you guys should get together, you know, with the next 24 hours and get those names down so we can make some calls. Free consultation, you can, if they just say free consultation, guys, we can immediately transition to an FLS. You move this over, you just close out this PDF file, and the next one will be a FLS. You start the FLS right there. Okay, and the third one is partner. So of course, you know, if they say they're interested in partnering, great, you know, I'd be more than happy to help you get through the system. We have a system for that. Okay, sorry about that, my phone. Sorry about that. So you want to partner with us? Great. We actually have an entire system for that. Okay. So our system consists of 3 things. Let's go ahead and talk about that. The first one is training. Very simple, guys. We have training twice a week. Miss Helen, is that something you'd be able to commit to?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Great. You see how simple this is, guys? Licensing. It's an online class. It's an online class. You get through the online class, and when you're finished with that, you take an exam. Everybody passes the exam. Very simple. Good to go? All right. And then clients. So we actually have a very elite, and but you know what, Miss Helen, based off our conversations, the questions that you asked, and how well spoken you are and things like that, I definitely consider you elite, right? So I would most definitely expect to see you in this elite class that we have called Fast Start School, right? This is where you're going to learn how to maintain, retain, obtain your clients. Okay. Sound good?
Sounds great. Thank you.
Good. Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So let me go ahead and show you a couple more options when it comes to a time commitment, right? So we have a couple options. We do allow, right, guys? We allow agents to try the business part-time, right? I want to hurry up and speed through this. So you guys go ahead and explain these 4 to them, and you go ahead and ask, Miss Helen, out of these 4, which one of them would you see yourself as with our agency?
Chairman all the way.
That's right, girl. And guys, it doesn't matter. Be genuine, but it doesn't matter if they say chairman or if they say marketing director, personal producer, guys. This is where you start pouring into an agent, because the person you're recruiting, they're going to be on your team. Okay. So I want to go ahead and wrap up because I know I'm short on time. But anyway, guys, if you guys have any questions, you can put them in the chat and I'll answer them while our guest speaker is on. But anyway, guys, this is where the pouring in of your team starts. You have to be energetic. You have to bring them positivity and pour into them before they're even coded, guys. Oh, a marketing director, I can most definitely see you meeting and exceeding those requirements as a marketing director with our firm. Great. Well, let me go ahead and tell you about some other things. So you go ahead and tell them about the platform fee. There's 4 things that you need to hit. Agent code, back office. Okay, so agent code, the technology we have in our back office, that's where we submit our apps, right? The 3rd thing is going to be the training that's in the back office. And then the 4th thing is obviously how we get paid. And you leave that for last because that's what they're waiting for. Okay, so you tell them about the agent code, right? You tell them about the technology we have. And I'm trying to speed through this, guys. But again, you guys can put your questions in the chat. And then you tell them about the training in the back office. And you say, that's how we get paid. So we get paid Tuesdays and Fridays, guys. If you write policies, you can go on your back office and see what days that your funds will be direct deposited into your bank. I want to go ahead and finish this off, guys. I had a couple more things, but you guys all know how to edify. You got to edify our leadership. Okay. Coach, we have our speaker on.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Shantae.
Yeah.
How many times did you have to do this where you felt comfortable? And once you answer that question, I also want to see you edify, because I think edification is about 80-90% of the whole thing, right?
Absolutely.
So why don't you, the first question is, how long did it take you for you to feel comfortable doing this presentation where you're like, I can like do 100 of these and I'm going to close like 90 of them?
Well, Coach, you threw me right in the game. So, you know what I'm saying? Why you asking me? You threw me right in the game. I got coded in March and I was certified in April. so the thing is, guys, it's not about being perfect. And I would just messing with you, Coach, but that's how you get good at something, right? And it's not about practice makes perfect. I don't like that saying because none of us are perfect, right? But practice is definitely going to make better, right? Practice is definitely going to show you what kind of objections people have. Practice is definitely going to show you real life in the field, what really happens and what you need to be prepared for. The kind of energy you need to bring into an RI. Because if you think you're going to get onto an RI and talk at somebody the whole time, or just, blow through the information or have low energy and you're going to recruit, sell, or get referrals, you're absolutely wrong. So for me, I started doing, I think in April, we were getting 2 agents promoted to associate that month. So I think I ran maybe about 20 of these to get both of them to associate. And I know I wasn't doing the best, you know what I mean? But I was doing what I could, right? I was learning what the objections are and stuff like that. So I did that for like about a month, at least 1 every, like at least 5 a week or something like that. before I felt like I was,
Your presentation is amazing. You already know how I feel about your presentation. Is one of my favorites, and we need to duplicate this. We need to make sure that we teach. I think it has to be a standard where, someone comes on the business and we're teaching this presentation within the first week. So thank you so much for that training. That was phenomenal. Let's go ahead.
If I had more time, I would have finished it up. But thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys got to hear from me about this this presentation, guys.
Absolutely. So guys, what everybody has been waiting for, guys, I know that he's one of my favorite speakers in the whole entire company. I remember coming into PHP, and when I seen him speak on stage, I was like, man, this guy's got to be a billionaire. And then when he started talking about, his foundation was God, his foundation was, doing things with integrity, principles and values. I fell in love with PHP. What can you do? But Andrew Gaines has always been one of my favorite trainers in the whole entire company, and we are blessed. I am honored, I am privileged to bring to you guys to the stage, a person that I admire, a person that we all want to be like, a $250,000 earner, an SVP for the company. Guys, help me by unmuting yourselves and give it up for Andrew Gaines.
Listen, great to be with you all. What's MAXLIFE maxing it out, huh? It's good to be with you all. Hopefully you all can hear me. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Audio's clear. Awesome. Listen, I don't have a whole lot of time with you, but I want to give everything I've got to you with the time that I have. I want to take Matrix and just download my soul into that back part of your brain that is like a savage lion that wants to go take over the world. I just got finished with a BOM. We do BOMs every single night. We're driving like crazy and having an absolute freaking blast. And we're not where we want to be, but we're ahead of where we were. And I'm thankful for the opportunity to improve. I hope you guys are reading the book of the month, Atomic Habits. We recently went and did a mastermind alliance up in whatever it was called, the mountains down in Southern California. Got all our brokers together. We watched The Last Dance together, that whole episode. We walked through Atomic Habits together. And I can tell you for a fact that my game has changed because of the way that I process this business. And, there's 65 people on the call. I'm talking to just you. I want you to forget everybody else on this call. If you're in a room in an office, I want you to forget everybody else. It's just you and me sitting at St. Arbuck's, having a latte, having a conversation. And I want to have a conversation with your soul for a minute. Because it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. Everybody knows that. We got to go, get the recruits up, get the sales up. Everybody knows that. Oh, it's the fall run. We got to run for our promotion. Everybody knows that. Oh, there's this contest, Fall Madness. Everybody knows that. And in some ways, there's kind of two different people who are on the call. Either you're somebody today who's on the call and you're killing it. You've never done this good in business. You've had your best 3-month stretch, 90 days you've ever had, your best 60 days you've ever had. You've had your best big events you've ever had. You just hit FA. You just hit director. You just hit MD. You just popped out an MD. You just made 10 grand for the first time in a month or 20 grand, and you're fired up. You're on this call. High five. Cool. The other group of you, you are where I have spent most of my time in this business. You put on the smile, but inside you're frustrated. It's like you're like the Hulk, right? Like, hey, how are you? You hate everybody, right? You hate your prospects, you hate your team, hate your office, hate this business, you hate America, you hate Biden and Trump and Harris and Kanye. You hate everybody, man. You're wondering if even you love Jesus anymore. You're like, everything sucks. You're frustrated, your money's not good, your cash flow's not good, your life situation's not good, your kid's not good, your spouse is not. You are you're there. And I've been there, right? I've been there. I'm sure that's no one on this call. And I remember when I got started in this business, we lived in a city called Rancho Cucamonga, which if you don't know where that is in LA, it's about 3 hours in traffic away from a city called Oxnard. And the only office that we had before COVID, if you don't even know what an office is, because you've only ever gotten started on Zoom and this little 3 inches is your office, we actually have real offices, right? We would have to drive to offices. What you get rolling out of bed in your PJs on Zoom, we had to drive 3 hours one way for. So the first year in business, my wife and I drove 3 hours one way twice a week, and we didn't miss a single training. Not for a birthday, not for a quinceañera, not for a bar mitzvah, not for a church. We didn't miss a single training the first year. We drove 3 hours one way in traffic, in LA traffic, which is like Carmageddon traffic. We put 50,000 miles on our car year one, and I didn't make a paycheck till my 13th month in business. And so I have very little tolerance for victims. I have very little tolerance for complainers. I have very little tolerance for people who want to whine and want attention for how hard their life is. I have very low tolerance for it, because when I was going through it, I didn't complain, I didn't whine, I got to work. There was a quote that I saw today. I thought it was a profound quote, and I want to share it with you. And it's talking about what I want to talk to you about here. Let me bring up this quote. It was crazy. Check this out. I got a different definition of procrastination yesterday that made me sit up. Quote, procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God owes you another opportunity to do what you had time to do. How wild is that? Procrastination is the arrogant assumption that God owes you another opportunity to do what you already had time to do. So for me, when I looked at my situation, I had 30 grand of credit card debt, $100,000 of student loan debt. We were stressed out. We were doing our thing. I said, I just got to stop whatever I'm doing with my mental attitude, and I got to sell out to go build this business. And here's what's kind of crazy. When we decided to sell out to build this business, initially I thought, oh, I got to get licensed. I got to sell insurance. I got to learn how the products work. And I remember somebody telling me, Andrew, I hope you can hear me. I hope it's just you and me. I hope you can hear me on this. You are not in life insurance. That's not this business. This business is not life insurance. I know you got to get a license to get into this business, but this business is not life insurance. You're not in life insurance sales. You're not in annuity sales. You're not in life insurance. You don't sell life insurance. Andrew, what the heck are you talking about? You don't sell life insurance. You build leaders in the insurance industry. You could have picked, I build leaders in the political arena. I build leaders in the medical industry. I build leaders in education. I build leaders in whatever it is. You chose to build leaders in the insurance business. That's what you do. When someone's like, oh, you look sharp. When like they tell me at the grocery store, oh, that ring, like, what do you do? I don't. I own. What do you do? I don't do insurance. I don't do insurance. I wrote 20 personal policies, 23 policies last month, but I don't do insurance. Andrew, so tell me, I'm at a network. What do you do? What do you do for work? Oh, I don't do for work. I have a business. I'm a builder. Oh, you're in construction? No, we build leaders in the insurance industry. Like on my card, that's what I tell people. What do you do? I build leaders in the insurance industry. That's my response because that's my mindset. If you think you're in insurance, you missed something along the way. Andrew, but it's Life Insurance Awareness Month. This is kind of a weird message. Why are you talking about a recruiter's mindset and not like it's life insurance? Shouldn't you be telling us about like Spring Eatman's story on the back office, right? You got the video like, oh my gosh, this is great. Like everybody shares that video on September. September, that video gets the most views of any time in the year. I'm not talking about that video, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you about Eduardo. If you're taking notes, write down the name Eduardo. Eduardo's an agent of ours. Eduardo gets recruited to this business in November. Eduardo is 25 years old. Eduardo is the primary breadwinner for his family, Latino family in Southern California. Mom doesn't work, speaks Spanish, does under the job kind of table stuff. Sister doesn't work yet. He's no dad in the house. He's the primary breadwinner. Eduardo, 25 years old, man of the house. He gets started in the business. He wants to go make money to retire his mom, take care of her. He wants to give her a better life. We go, and it wasn't me who ran it, but he goes, we set up a field training with the mom, meet the spouse, right? There's no spouse, we meet the mom, meet the sister. Neither of them are supportive. Why are you doing that business? Oh, it's not a good business. How many of you, the reason why you're doing this business is to win for people who don't even support you doing this business to win for them? Man, how crazy frustrating is that? I went to my mom and my dad. I said, I'm doing this to retire you. Oh, are you still doing that insurance thing? I'm freaking doing this for you. Because you lost $500,000 in a market crash with a 401k. Because you went to corporate America and you got fired. Not because you're bad, because the market crashed in 08, 09. You don't have a backup plan? I'm your son. I'm freaking doing this for you. What do you mean you won't give me referrals? What do you mean you won't help me out? Dad, you have a life insurance license. What do you mean you think this isn't legit? You're in this business. I know, but I don't know if you should do it. What are you talking about? What do you do when the people who you want to win for most, they don't even support you? Like, I kind of think we get like a 1 ounce of a drop of a 40 bajillion gallon tank of what Jesus did. Hey, what's up, guys? I'm here to like help you out. You don't got food? Bring me some fish and loaves. Oh, you're sick? Let me cure all your diseases. Kill him. WTF. He's like, I'm here for you. Like, what the hell are you doing? All right, let's go at it. Forgive me. And even then, he's not bitter victim or that. Oh, it's not fair. He never went there. He never went there. He had a recruiter's mentality. I got to go win one more. I got to go win one more. Forgive them for they don't know what they got to do. I got to go find one more. Man, if I could just go find my rabbit. If I could just go find my rabbit. Once he's dead and raised from the dead, then Jesus goes and he's like, dude, I'm still looking for my rabbit. He's not even in the base shop building game anymore. And he goes and finds this guy named Saul, right? If you don't know the Bible, there's this dude. His name is Saul, and he hates Jesus. Like, he hates Jesus. If it's Jesus in your base shop, you got Palos, right? If you're Latino in LA, you got Palos on your team, and you got Jesus on your team, right? Well, Jesus, he hunts down this guy and recruits this guy named Saul, and says, hey, you should play our jersey. You should put on the jersey, baby. You should come play for us. Saul, recruiter's mentality, change of heart, says, I'm going to go build the biggest thing ever. The original 12 people Jesus recruited, they went and like built their own thing and did their thing, and they did their thing, and that's all good. Paul single-handedly built more than all of the original 12 combined. Jesus found his rabbit. He found someone who was willing to sell out to the vision. Andrew, what are you talking about? Are you trying to say that PHP is like the Bible and you're Jesus? No, you're missing the point. It's a mentality of saying, I've got to go find the next person who wants to lead. I don't need to find the next lead of insurance. So many people hunt for leads. I hunt for leaders. It's a different mindset. I don't look for leads. Where do you get your leads? We don't have leads. We have leaders. That's what we have. Wow, I never thought of it that way. So what happens? Eduardo gets in the business. Mom doesn't support him. Sister doesn't support him. Meet the spouse, meet the sister, don't support him. Wants to qualify for Fast Start School. Goes through his check boxes. Boom, spouse, policy, big event, all that kind of stuff. He's in my Fast Start School in December. December does the business. January comes around. January, Eduardo steps away from the business a little bit. Steps away from business. Because why? Pressure from mom, tension. You know how it is. If the environment's not supportive, you're in a bad environment, man. It's hard to survive if you're a fish out of water. So maybe for some of you, the message tonight is you've got to go change the fishbowl that you're in. Hey, Andrew, I would, but you don't know my situation. No excuses, no explanations, execution, expectations. If you want to go do something, let's go do something. If you don't, then don't. But get into a different fishbowl. If you're somebody who's not going to your local office and you could, go to your freaking local office. I drove 3 hours one way every single week. What do you mean? Oh, well, there's COVID. COVID? You know people died from tuberculosis? You know people died from shark attacks this year? Yeah, go look at COVID. You know people died from lightning? Andrew, are you trying to minimize COVID? I had a relative that died. I just had a relative that died. I'm not being unsympathetic, but me being sympathetic about someone who's passed doesn't change your excuses about you staying in your comfort zone. What do you want me to say? Oh, Andrew, I've never heard it this way before. I know. So Eduardo, January, stepped into the business. Too much pressure. I can't hang. My mom, boom. I'm going to step away. I still support you guys, boom. February, March, April, May, June, July, boom. Guys, 3 days ago, it's Wednesday so it's 5 days ago, Saturday, we get the phone call. Eduardo, 25 years old. He just died. Complications from COVID. 25 years old. Mom only speaks Spanish, doesn't have papers, doesn't have a job. Sister isn't working. Who pays the bills? Who buys the food? Who pays for the rent? Who does everything? He did everything. So he qualified for Fast Start School. So he got a policy. He quit the business. Did he keep his policy? You look it up, NLG, premiums paid. He paid every single one of his premiums. We called the mom. Hola, ¿cómo está? Mi nombre es Andre. I'm so sorry for your loss. Boom. Do you remember us? We're PHP. Yeah, I remember you guys. Your son was working for us. Yeah, I know. We just wanted to call and say we're so sorry for your loss. Tears. I'm as well. When he was working with us, he got a small policy. What are you talking about? He got it when he was working. Remember how you didn't support him? When he worked with us, you didn't support him. He got a life insurance policy. He was doing his business for you. He was doing his business because he wanted to help you guys. He told us that. And if anything ever happened to him, he wanted to be able to take care of you when he wasn't here, because he was doing his business to take care of you while he was here. And his policy was still in force when he passed away. Did you know he had a life insurance policy? Guys, this is the conversation, word for word. I didn't know he had a life insurance policy. She says, here, talk to my daughter. Daughter speaks English. Boom. Hey, he had this policy, small policy, but he cared about you guys. Tears. They didn't know he had a policy. Guys, we just delivered. He got an IUL. He got a permanent policy, young kid. He got a $351,000 death benefit for his family. Guys, can I be real with you? What 25-year-old Latino kid buys a $350,000 permanent policy? Only one that gets recruited to life insurance. Clients don't do that. Agents do that. Guys, the reason why I'm obsessed with recruiting is because Life Insurance Awareness Month should really be called Life Insurance Industry Awareness Month. Because people don't realize that this business is not about selling policies to people. This business is about recruiting people to an environment, a fishbowl that's going to stretch their thinking to take care of their community. I have a recruiter's mentality because I know we're going to save America by recruiting 5 million people as a company, not by selling 5 million policies, because people quit policies. Clients quit paying for policies. But you know what doesn't happen? People with mindsets. Listen, if you go talk to Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, follow me in this. Atomic Habits. How he started is how I'm going to finish. Atomic Habits. Do you think at 70 years old, Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is going to stop going to the gym? There's no way in the world. I want you to picture Dwayne Johnson. Remember the movie Avengers, whatever the last one was, where Thor was like all fat and drinking beer? What's going on, guys, right? And you're like, dude, that is not Thor. He had an identity crisis. This whole thing of Atomic Habits. Somebody wants to quit smoking. Hey, do you want a cigarette? No. I'm trying to quit smoking. Goals. Someone's trying to quit smoking. Hey, you want a cigarette? No. Why? Because it's Tuesday. And on Tuesdays, I don't smoke. That's a system. It's Tuesdays, I don't smoke, so it's Tuesdays, so I can't smoke. That's a system. Do you want a cigarette? No. Why? I'm a non-smoker. Identity. See, the real thing about behavior change is identity change. If the goal is not to run, the goal is to become a runner. The goal is not to write a book. The goal is to become a writer. The goal is not to recruit a team. The goal is to become a builder. The goal is not to lead some people. The goal is to become a leader. Because when you change identity, everything else happens automatically. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, is never going to stop going to the gym, not because he's in shape. It's because fitness is a part of his identity. Schwarzenegger's still pumping iron. Gang, the reason why I'm obsessed with recruiting is because if you want to go save America, if you want to go save your community, the Latino community, the African-American community, the Asian community, the Middle Eastern community, the Caucasian community, whatever community you're a part of, if you want to go save your community, let's go recruit 5 million people. I live in California. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat, but I am not a fan of our governor. Newsom is like freaking killing the state. He ruined San Francisco, and now he's ruining California. And they want to take taxes from 13 to 16%. For what are you doing this for? A judge in Pennsylvania just yesterday said it is unconstitutional for a governor to say businesses have to stay closed and small business owners can operate, and for them to govern indoor-outdoor activity. It's unconstitutional. I can't wait for this to spread across the country because the limits of the Constitution don't dictate in a free country you be able to go do stuff. I'm a huge fan of freedom. I'm a libertarian. I believe in small government and let people go make their choices. Andrew, well, I'm not a fan of Trump. I don't care. And you know what? He doesn't either because he has $10 billion. And when you have $10 billion, you won't care either. Well, Andrew, I'm not a friend of Biden. I don't care. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm building a kingdom that's based off of freedom. You can pick a political party. Neither of them are coming for you. Neither of them are coming for you. Well, I think that this person's a what? No one cares. You know what I care about? Republicans and Democrats are never going to save America. CEOs of big companies are never going to save America. Handouts is never going to save America. Someone else trying to solve your problem is never going to save America. You know what's going to save America? Someone deciding, dude, why couldn't I go lead California? I don't want to be a governor. I have zero desire to go into politics. But I'm like, dude, somebody's got to go lead this state. I hope they get recruited to PHP. Why? Because we build leaders. We're not going to save America by selling policies. You've got to sell out to a recruiter's mentality. The Christianity wasn't built from just the 12 that he originally recruited. He had to go find the rabbit, the person who hated him the most, the biggest skeptic. He had to recruit that guy and build him into a leader. Boom! Catholic Church, Christian Church, Christianity, Catholicism has recruited more people than any other world religion. Why? Because they built leaders. Guys, we're not going to go save communities. We're not going to go save America. We're not going to go do everything you want to go do in life by selling policies. You're only going to do it by building leaders. So if you really believe in Life Insurance Awareness Month, show it on the Recruiters Leaders Bulletin, because Eduardo's family would be another statistic if he didn't get recruited. My family would be a statistic if I didn't get recruited. Your family would be a statistic if you didn't get recruited. The greatest thing you can do for a client is sell them the dream on becoming a leader, leading their community, learning these skills, being a part of an environment where they go get a license and they can go change their life. Multiple ripple effects because someone goes and gets a license in this business. So if right now, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm down, you don't know what's going on in my life, I'm stressed out. If you're group number 1 and you're freaking stressed out, dude, go get 3 directions. Stop complaining. Go give people an opportunity that you're complaining about having. There's 54 million people on unemployment. Dude, everybody's open. If you don't think everybody's open, something crawled up into your brain and died. Everybody's open right now. Dude, 54 million people on unemployment, that's a third of the American workforce. Oh, but Hampshire, I've been prospecting on social media and everyone tells me no. So you let them crawl up into your brain and die, and now you're sniffing their carcass? Everybody is open. Just because you found people, hear me on this. I'm gonna tweak a synapse in your brain. I'm gonna rewire something in your brain right now. Just because you asked somebody if they were ready to take a step and they don't have the courage to pursue freedom doesn't mean they're open. When they say, no, I'm good, they're not, and you know it. All they're really saying is, I don't have the guts to go take a step forward to my freedom. But now that you asked, I'm going to watch you on social media for the next 3 months. Gang, everybody's open. It doesn't mean everyone has the courage to take the step right now, but everybody's open. Nobody thinks that Trump or Biden or Kanye or Kim or God knows who is going to come save them. Nobody believes it anymore. Nobody does. And I'm not saying any of them are bad people. No one's coming for them, and everybody knows it. 54 million people on unemployment. Guys, everybody's open. We just recruited somebody who's used to making $500,000 a year as an executive. They said, I got to go do something different, start a business. We just got somebody started who used to make $180,000 a year with Match Mutual. They're in their base shop running the business. They're like a freaking Matt Sapala. They got their own thing going on. I'm going to see if I can go get them to $1 million income. Guys, we have people who are sales executives who are used to making $220 a year. They're getting started in this business. Why? Because everybody's open. Because the hamster wheel of delusion of modern day slavery, of running around in a rat race, making everybody else money, people realize it's a scam. They realize it's a scam, and they don't want to spend the next 40 years of their life, the best 40 years of their life, the best 40 hours of their week clocking and clocking out like a 14-year-old who has to get permission from their parents for everything. Can I take time off work? Can I go to my kid's ballet thing? Can I? Nobody wants to do that. Everybody's open. So you've got to approach everybody with the mindset, dude, everybody's open. I'm in the greatest industry in the world. I don't sell stuff. I build leaders, man. I'm a builder. I don't need leads. I find leaders. We're going to go freaking save America. And if you stick around me long enough, I'm going to rewire your brain as well that anything is possible. Let's freaking go, baby. Dude, that's the recruiter's mentality. And if you will switch from fear, if you'll switch from lack, if you'll switch from negativity, if you'll switch from to do freaking everybody's open. It may not mean you have the courage to take the moment right now, but you're going to watch me for the next 3 months. And when you watch me for the next 3 months, guys, on a COVID pandemic lockdown, my wife and I have made $105,000 in the last 60 days. Where else in America are you going to go make $105,000 in 60 days living in your closet? There's only one industry, and you're in that industry. I am past my time. I probably ran over on somebody else's time. I apologize, but it's been great to be with you. Here's my one prayer for you. For the love of God, go recruit the world. For the love of all that is good, go recruit the world, because it's the only way we're going to save America. We're going to build new leaders to lead this country and protect our families with life insurance. Let's go crush it. With that being said, Joel Molina, I am going to hand the call, my friend, back over to you.
Let's go! That
That was fire,
you.
Andrew. Thank you.
Oh,
Great.
my
Wow, that was
goodness.
Much love,
Yes.
bro, much love. Okay, so
Love you, Andrew.
we want to respect your time, Andrew. We want to respect your time. Maybe 2 questions, and then we can go ahead and break out. Are you good with that? 2 questions?
I can stick around for you, 100%.
Joe, I got a question.
wanna-
This is Ron.
Okay, Ron, you know I'm gonna let you.
Ah, my guy.
Go
Got
ahead,
it,
take
sir.
the mic and ask the question. Let's go.
Really fast. I just want to know the whole thing that I got from what you were saying is you have a true recruiter's mentality. How did you go about getting it? Did it take a while? What was it?
Hey-o.
Like, can I say one thing? I don't know if you got new people on this call. So if you're brand new on this call, you don't know me, I don't know you. God bless you. Find me on Instagram. We can connect. I'll tell you my story. It'll make sense. But if you're brand new on this call, let me baptize your brain in truth for 30 seconds. When I got started, if you've been around, you have no issue with this. When I got started, I had ignorant people tell me, "Oh, it's one of those things. It's a pyramid. It's an MLM. It's a give me a thumbs up if you've heard people say that." Well, I have a mentor who makes $25 million a year in life insurance. And they said, "Andrew, if you don't want someone's life, stop listening to their advice." Makes sense. Oh, well, I'd be worried. I think it's probably one of those things. You work at Home Depot and you make $52,000 a year. I love you, but I don't want your life. So maybe you don't know that much about business. So here's where I had to get to. Oh, it's a pyramid. I had to educate myself. There's a difference between a multi-level marketing company and a network marketing company. There's a difference between being a salesman or saleswoman for a product, a distributor for a product, lotions, potions, juice, cars, real estate, knives, vacuums, whatever, all good stuff. No problem with that. There's a difference between being a salesperson and being a business owner of an insurance agency. There's a difference. And I had to realize there's a difference. But on top of that, here's where I went. You know where I went? Here's where I went. Let's say it's an MLM. Say it is. Say it's a pyramid. Let's say it is. Not the illegal kind. Let's just say that it is an MLM. Do we help people make more money? Yes. Do we improve the quality of their life? Yes. Do we improve the quality of their relationships and their thought processes through personal development? Yes. Do we improve their career and their financial plan? Yes. Dude, say it is an MLM. I had to get comfortable with this thought. Let's just go all the way to the farthest reaches and say it is one of those things. If I can make more money and help more people make money without taking advantage of people, who the hell cares? Let's go recruit the world. And once I divorced myself from the stigma that broke people, brainwashed me to believe about a compensation plan that they weren't willing to understand, my mind was free. And now all I got to do is ask you, do you want a better life? Because you currently have a pyramid compensation plan of your corporate America. Is that comp plan working for you? No. Here's an insurance comp plan. It's working for me. Would you like a different comp plan? Yes, I would. Let's go, Bob. I was free once I went to the darkest parts of what I was trying to avoid, and I lived there for 30 minutes, explored it, and said, dude, there's nothing to be afraid of, even if I am the MLMer. Dude, so what? So I'm the MLMer in like my cool jeans and I get out of my Ferrari? Okay, cool. I'm that guy. I'm good with it. I'm good with it. Let's go. I hope that's helpful, but I had to go there and say, no big deal.
Got you. I got you. Thank you, man.
I just scared somebody. Somebody just quit. I just scared somebody, man.
We'll get them back.
There you go. Un más.
All right, guys, last question. We have Andrew Gaines, and we want to ask him some questions. If you're a director, an FA, I expect you to ask questions.
Hey, Don Chow from MFL here. Want to say thank you for your time. Your speech has been very eye-opening. You hear a lot of people speak, but it's the way that you speak. It's not just what you say, it's how you say it. You speak with such passion and such intensity and such understanding of yourself and how the world actually works, and to improve that. So I want to say thank you for that. My second thing is, where do you see yourself going? This is something from me to you personally, because I love seeing how people grow, because it helps me to grow as well, just by learning from other people's mistakes as well. So where do you see yourself first by the end of the year and just in your life in general?
Yeah, so I would tell you, we went to the next board council retreat with Pat, and he had to make a 5-year plan. And so everything was about atomic habits and incremental improvement. And by 2025, 2029, where do you want to be? Who do you want to be in the company? And he made us do that. And I highly encourage you guys, if you really are a long-term thinker on this call, I recommend not that you're like, oh, I'm going to make a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan, like a normal business plan, but really like run the numbers and say, okay, what am I willing to commit to with my work ethic to go build? If I talk a big game, I want to go change the world and I want to do orphanages and I want to do nonprofits. Okay, great. Well, so then reverse engineer the blood, sweat, tears you got to go put in, because we're going to find out if you actually care about all those things you say with your mouth if your feet move. If your feet don't move, your mouth should stop moving as well, right? But if your mouth's moving and your feet are moving, we're all good with it. And so we put together a game plan of we'll be a $3 million earner by 2025. We'll run a 1 million point base shop 5 years straight, back to back to back to back. And by 2025, that's what it takes. You run a 1 million point base shop 5 years in a row, you'll be a $3 million earner. I said, okay, well, right now we're at like 600 something thousand points. We have 4 months left. We've done 100 recruits and 100,000 points average over for 4 months in a row. So we'll continue that average of 100 recruits, 100,000 points in the base shop, and we'll wrap up a 1 million point base shop. This will be our first year. So we'll do 1 million point base shop. Typically people are there between 350, 500. After they do it once, after they do it twice, they get to like the 500 to 7. So that'll be next year. The third year, they get to $1 million income. So Paula ran 1 million point base shop 3 years in a row. They get to $1 million. So we're 3 years away, 2.5, 3 years away from being a $1 million earner. And then 5 years from now, we get to 3 mil, right? So where do I see myself in the business in terms of income? That's kind of the trajectory. By 2029, Nobility, the organization that I'm responsible for serving, is we're going to be 10% of the company. We're going to be 100,000 licensed agents, and we're going to be growing into 20% of the company by that time. So that's where we see ourselves going, and we've put together the numbers and the metrics to do that. And what I would encourage you to do is figure out who you want to be, what you want to accomplish in terms of your purpose and the size of the organization you need to fulfill what you want to go give back, and the metrics of the finances that are required to do that. And then actually reverse engineer what's the work that's going to be required, and figure out if you're committed to the work. Because if you're not committed to the work, you can't be committed to the purpose. If you're not committed to the cross, you can't be committed to saving the world, right? And so reverse engineering and then figuring out not what it takes, but if you're committed to what it takes, it's the most important part of growth. So yeah, good question. That's kind of where we see ourselves, and that's where we are going. But
oh, thank you so much.
Good to be with you.
So much.
You got it, my man. You got it. Good to be with you guys. I have to jump into my next call. Blessings on every single one of you. Let's go crush it and save the world. Go recruit the world. We'll talk to y'all real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. Thank you.
Woo!
Appreciate you. Champagne, back to you guys so you guys can close out the call. That was phenomenal.
Perfect. That was so amazing. Thank you so much, Andrew Gaines, for coming and training us tonight. I literally loved it. I had some nuggets. I put on Facebook that one. Okay. I put on Facebook we don't have leads, we build leaders. So let's remember, guys, that we build leaders. We're not here to have leads. And then just remember, guys, that we're here to be the next leaders, but also to build the next leaders. So think about what it is that you want. Think about how many licensed agents you want to have. Think about how many MDs you want to have personally. Like, these are the things we need to be thinking about, because if we don't know it, we're not going to achieve it.
You guys see how clearly he answered that question when he was asked where he sees himself, you guys? He said by 2025, he had all the metrics laid out. He said he's solved for X. He knows when he's going to be making $3 million a year. You guys, we have to get granular with our goals. That's one of the main things that I got from what he was talking about, that we have to get really granular. I also want to say thank you so much for the opportunity, Coach, to share today, and being able to kind of go over the crusade and everything like that. If anybody has any questions about that, because I felt like I didn't get to kind of finish the bottom of it, but I'll put my number in the chat. If anybody wants to call or text me about anything, I'd be more than happy to help. I'm not perfect at it, of course, but I'd be more than happy to help anybody who would want some help with that, guys. With that being said, I believe we have some recognition happening. Is that right, Coach? Let me turn it back over to you.
That's right. Let's see if the other marketing directors have any recognition. If they have any recognition, let's have them go first, and then we'll just wrap it up us at the end.
Also, I wanted to say, Coach Joe, thanks for giving us both the opportunity to host tonight. It was really fun. I really love hosting with my sister.
Oh, we had so much fun, like way too much fun.
Y'all were amazing. Y'all were amazing. Guys, unmute yourselves and show them some love, man. They did an amazing job.
Over there dropping J-Dams. Great job training, Champagne.
Y'all are muted, FYI.
Can I go ahead on recognition?
A Fortaleza coming at me just now down the hallway. You guys are funny. Okay, if any of the, did you ask? Did any of the other?
Yeah, did any of the MDs have any recognition before we go to Coach?
I do.
Let's go, girl.
I do. Can you hear me? Okay. So I just want to recognize Tony Crawford. Other MDs, if you could send me your slides, please, and stuff. I don't know how to do all that stuff yet. I need some training, so I don't have a picture of him. But I just want to recognize Tony Crawford. He is officially an associate. So can we give it up for him, please?
Oh.
Yeah.
And then I also want to give it up for Cody. He hit captains tonight.
Oh,
Come on, Cody.
big moves.
Good job. Nice. Do any of the other marketing directors maybe have any recognition they want to give?
We got some quick recognition. Anybody else? Apex, why don't you guys get started with your recognition? All right, guys, give it up to Apex. Apex, Maricela Rayford.
All right, guys.
Let's go, John. Let's go. Let's go.
So we have Mr. Kevin Neal, and he is in Arkansas, but this is his trophy, Rising Star. So great job, Kevin Neal. We also have Isaiah Edwards. He got his Rising Star Award. So great job, Izzy, on getting that. We also have some Impact Player Awards. That is Larry and Rebecca Hawkins right here. They also got, where is he? Oh, it's in there. Right here, yeah. So they also got the Power Couple Award.
Woo! Wow.
You can add this here. You can see it so clear. Okay, and then Monique Gonzalez Impact Award.
Let's go, Monique.
Okay. And then we actually have this gentleman in the building, so I want to give this to Brandon Thrash.
Come on, Brandon.
It's under the shirts. It's under the shirts. So we wanted to also give him this book that was from Stephanie Romansky.
Thanks, social media queen.
So there's a note in there for you from her. So there you go. Man, he's going home with gifts.
Let's go.
Great job.
Brandon, read the note for everybody.
1, 2, 3.
All right, read the, she
Okay,
said read the
and
note.
then we have- and then we have one more. We have the MVP of Apex. So I know he's here. I see him in the camera. I'm gonna hide him real quick. So I want to give it up to Anthony Washington.
Yeah.
Here, Luke. Okay. All right. So that's it for Apex.
All right, pass it, MVP at the end. All right, guys, 2 minutes. I'm gonna recognize players from 2020 Vision. We have our first Impact player. He's listening in from Singapore, and that is none other than Tim Webb. So he is.
Coach Tim.
Congratulations on your on getting married too, by the way. I know that's what you want.
I appreciate it, sir. Appreciate it.
The next one I want to recognize as a rising star is Mr. and Mrs. Thomas and Brenda Sanchez. So there you go. The next one that I want to recognize this individual because he's our BSC, but he's also an Impact player. He makes Fortaleza, you know, he keeps us all in line, and I want to give him some love. So help me give some love to Kevin Rogers.
Okay.
All right,
Let's go,
all right,
let's
all right,
go.
one more, guys. One more. We got the most valuable player, the MVP of Fortaleza. I think you guys already know, but it's Miss Champagne Johnson.
I already knew. Hey. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up.
Yeah. And the last one, y'all stay here. Y'all might as well stay here, right? Is the want to recognize a power couple from Fortaleza, and that's none other than Champagne and Devar.
Oh.
Go off. Go.
Oh, yeah.
One, two, three.
All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for being part of the Fortaleza show. I really appreciate it. Oh, emancipators. I'm going to go ahead and do it. Do we have emancipators on the call? Do we have Kenny Lamberson on the call?
You do, bro, but go ahead since you're there. Go ahead.
What's
All
up,
right,
Kenny?
so S&D, okay. I want to recognize the flag carrier for emancipators. The flag carrier, she's always there, guys, always backing up her marketing director. I want to recognize Olivia Mingo.
Way to go, Olivia!
Yeah.
I
love
That's my friend.
All right, guys, so that's all we have for tonight. Oh, shoot, we have also the, what is this, the impact player for emancipators. We have Mr. Vincent Boyd.
Oh, Mr. Boyd.
All right, guys, well, thank you for listening to the Fortaleza show. We really appreciate it.
The Fortaleza show.
It's back to whoever the host was. We had our
Your show's about to get canceled.
Oh my God. Deb?
Well, I got distribution in Singapore. You're all right.
Yeah.
Let's freaking go.
He's gonna need it.
All right. If